You're live from Boston, as you can see. Earnshaw, by the way, Earnshaw, the credit here. The nice little setup, the backdrop. In the backdrop, we got the Fenway Park. This is yours, by the way, or mine? That's yours.
I think it's mine. What, are you going to take mine too? You bought the whole store last night.
And you were talking, I did buy the whole store last night. I'm not, listen, I know Earnshaw's going to do what he does. I'm not a Red Sox fan. I'm a baseball fan. I did buy a lot of stuff because maybe a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I don't know how many times I'm going to be at Fenway Park. So I bought the works. I bought a baseball bat. I bought a little Red Sox baseball bat. I bought one of these nice things. I bought a program.
Dude, you spent a lot.
I spent a lot. I could have went more. I was thinking about buying another shirt, but I'm not an actual Sox fan, and I don't want to give those vibes off. Even though I know this guy's going to try to do that. Some of you in the audience might try to do that as well, but I'm not. I'm a baseball fan, and I'm very man. This was overwhelming. I don't even know if overwhelming is the word, Nick. We're going to get into it. So this is our Fenway Park episode. And we're going to get into, depending on how much time we have, pretty much probably going to be an all Red Sox episode.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
We're going to get into, most of it. It's going to be about our experience at Fenway. What our game we saw last night where the Red Sox won 4-3, a couple of Marcelo Meyer home runs.
Jaron Duran
first pitch
with a home run. I mean, that was incredible.
First pitch.
I will get to it, but just watching a leadoff home run at Fenway Park, incredible.
Yeah, leadoff's a little strong. It wasn't like it was first pitch, top of the first, but it was
bottom of the first.
Yeah, you're right. It basically was. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But man, that was unbelievable experience. We're gonna get into our experience here. And a couple of other things Red Sox related, depending on the time we have, because we do have to be out of our hotel room at 11 a.m.
At some point.
So at some point, depending on how much time we have, maybe this will spill into other episodes as well.
Yeah.
Especially if we have time today, we're going to do our all-time Red Sox lineup. If not, we're going to save that for maybe the next couple of episodes as well. So, but Nick, unbelievable. I want you to start. What was experience in Boston, experience at Fenway. Just like let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think you'll agree with me on most of it. Just getting to the ballpark was incredible. Just going through, there's a fly in here. But just getting there, going through, walking around. We stopped at a couple of those team stores because I had to get a little something for Fenway Park.
Right.
But then we walked around the concourse for a little bit. It's old school for sure. It feels like you go back in time a little bit walking around Fenway, which is really cool just because of the history of the ballpark. Absolutely awesome. And then when you walk out through the tunnel, Fran, that was so incredible. The aura. I know it's getting an overused term, but the aura walking out of that tunnel and just seeing the Green Monster, Fenway, Pesky's Pole, everything. I was taken aback. I was just like, I felt like I'm 25. I felt like I was five. I'm going to be 25 in a month. I felt like I was 5 years old walking out there. It was incredible. It was something like I only dreamt about because, Fran, I've only seen Fenway on TV, in videos, in video games, etc. I've gone to little wiffle ball tournaments where they make a makeshift Fenway Park. No, that was actually Fenway Park. I felt like I was a kid again. And then, we had great seats behind home plate. Absolutely fantastic. Great seats to watch a ball game. I literally have no complaints. Out of all the ballparks, I've only been to 3 ballparks: Citizens Bank Park, Camden Yards, Fenway. The history surrounding Fenway, you cannot beat it at all.
I'm just gonna then agree with a lot of what you said for sure, Nick. I gave you about like 5 or 6 comparisons on how I was feeling yesterday, and I'll by the way, I want to say city of Boston definitely different than Philadelphia. It was a nice city. It's different than what I'm used to in Philadelphia. But again, I told you, within the last couple of episodes that, this is I think this is something I really want to do, where like, I do want to travel, a lot through life, not big time travel, but like, if there's an excuse I can get out
to a
of
ballpark,
Philly and Delco, get to some ballparks, get some, I'm going back to the US Open. I've been to the US Open, tennis one, which I'm going to go to in a couple months, but
this was the first time for you and I at Fenway. Like you had been to Camden Yards when we did the Camden Yards episode last year. I hadn't been there. You had already been there, so you kind of knew the way around. This time it was like, all right, where are we going? Like, this is new for all of us. So I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah. So going on. So I want to say, City of Boston, cool city, nice city. Definitely old.
Yeah,
in a cool way. In a cool way, though. In a cool way. We went to, what was it called, 75th? And we went to, we were gonna go there, and then we ended up going
to a sports bar.
It was nice. We were right on the right on the water. It was really beautiful day. You couldn't ask for anything better. And I was also telling you this prior to the day, that looking at the weather, I'm always scared going on these type of trips like Fenway, or when I go to the US Open, every once in a while.
Get nervous?
I get nervous because like, you don't know what the weather's going to be like,
that's
man.
True.
Like, and that's how you kind of feel for people. Maybe they're making their first time to CBP for a Phillies game or something like that. And they're coming from, maybe a couple of states over their first time, and they're coming for one game, and, it gets rained out, and that must suck, man. Like, what do you do? So, I mean, we weren't going to stay here for the Yankee series. We have other obligations, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, but unfortunately, in that sense, if we were to get rained out or something like that.
Yeah.
So, nice day in Boston. We got some food. And then, going to Fenway, we passed it on our way to the hotel first before we ended up making our way. We saw the welcome to Fenway sign. We saw the incredible. I was already like, oh my gosh, here I am. Like, that feeling of like, I'm 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
That's the thing that baseball gives you, is that feeling of being like 4 or 5 years old. It brings you back to that, and just being a little kid. And then we went to the ballpark, and we went third base side, like you said. We went out like, kind of near Pesque's Pole, but on third base side, and you see the green monster. And I had never experienced what I think I felt yesterday before. I felt the experience of like going to the US Open as a tennis fan and be like, oh my gosh, I'm here, Arthur Ashe. I've seen this on TV. I've seen these players before and stuff like that. I've been to Phillies games. I've been to other stadiums, like you said, Camden Yards, like even old Yankee Stadium. Old Yankee Stadium might be the closest thing I can compare to for Fenway, but been to other stadiums, and I had never experienced something that I experienced yesterday. It was
you were zoned out. You were zoned.
I didn't know how to feel. Every time I looked at any part of the field, I was like, where the heck am I right now? Like, this is not real.
You would zone out, because I would say something and you would just be like, you'd be taken aback at something you didn't know.
I didn't understand. Yeah,
it was funny.
Even like something not stupid, but like the golf sign out in left field next to the monster. Like, you've seen that on TV. Even something like as simple as that. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like what dumb comparison did I make to you yesterday? I was like, this is like feeling like you're watching, you've seen Wizard of Oz. In 1940, this legendary movie. And I feel like I was thrown into that movie, like this legendary, like, they say baseball stadiums are cathedrals. Like, this is the understatement for Fenway. Like, Fenway it's more than that. And I also want to I'm going to, give a little crap to some people who have told me about Fenway before. Like, yeah, you feel the nostalgia, you feel the history when you first step in. No, this is like, that's an understatement. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, I'm still trying to put it together. I don't get it. Like, I don't know. And I wonder what it's like for being a Red Sox fan your whole entire life, and you're growing up in that. Because, like, I don't know, maybe it must be a different experience. For me, like, this just as a baseball fan, I'm just blown to pieces.
You gonna switch teams now? You gonna switch teams?
No, I got the Durant jersey because I'm a Jaron Durant fan, and I'm good. I'm a Scherzer guy. Unlike you, I'm a unlike you.
I'm a Scherzer guy. What are you talking about?
But they're gonna give you crap. They're gonna give me crap, of course.
Well, but it was great because there were other fans there, and I you know me. I had to go. I went shift T-shirt, and I went Phillies hat. That's what I went yesterday. I went Phillies hat, shift T-shirt.
Yeah, so it's a violation. Like,
not a violation.
You're that guy. You're like that Giants fan that I saw in the on the concourse.
Probably the concourse.
Is that
Yeah.
the concourse? Still?
Yeah, it was probably the concourse.
With,
Yeah.
it's different than other stadiums we've
It's
been
a
to,
concourse.
obviously.
Yeah.
And the concourse, there's a Giants fan with
Saw Padres.
Padres hat.
Saw a couple.
It's
by
not
the
the
way,
worst. You could be that guy wearing like a different jersey. Like
yeah.
we're not doing.
Well,
that.
guess what
like,
we did? Well, we did see a guy in a different jersey. So we went to the bleacher bar after the game.
That was amazing.
That was he didn't even spot it. He was in his own world, and I'm like, dude, look to your right. Like there is a bleacher bar. So we went into the bleacher bar, and they have like a little mini fence in the corner of the bar. It's in the outfield that you can see the game through, and you're field level. Like that was incredible. We stopped in there. That was awesome. Hung out there for a couple of minutes. And that was another aspect that I was like, holy moly, this is different. Like
it was incredible.
It just feels different here. Out of all the two ballparks that now I have gone to, Fenway, I put over Camden Yards for sure. In my estimation, it was just different, just because of the history of Fenway Park. And by the way, we learned a little history yesterday. The Moose, George Earnshaw. Last time there was
innings.
I guess maybe the last time there was an Earnshaw in Fenway, 11-inning complete game.
How many years later?
1934. So
wait,
89 years later.
Have any of your family members been to Fenway?
To like immediate, no, but like maybe outside family members.
Well, I was just thinking,
talked. You don't know.
Yeah.
But last time Earnshaw, 11 innings pitched, complete game, 89 years ago.
Different time.
We figured that out last night.
I just, Nick, I have no, like, by the way, the game was a really good game too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was a 4-3 victory for the Sox. Yeah. I'm sitting here talking like I'm a Red Sox fan. Look, man, it's the aura around me. I can still feel the aura of Fenway Park, miles away from me right now. It was a really good game. We got by the way, Walker Buehler has not been good for the Red Sox. He's expressed his frustrations recently. I really just want to talk about the ballpark. I don't even know if I really want to talk about the game. Like it was, but just and honestly, like I didn't even care if it was a good or a bad game. I'm still trying to grasp the feeling that I had gotten from the ballpark, Nick. It's like I just keep trying to come up with comparisons. It's thinking of going to watch, like thinking you're like you're a Eagle. I don't know. You're a fan of a team your whole entire. We're not even fans of the Red Sox. We're just baseball fans.
Yeah, and I don't
even know how to put it together.
That's what's great about going to games like this is that you don't have you don't have a dog in the race, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just kind of there watching the game, just enjoying it. And like that was so great about it is like, yeah, I'm a Phillies fan, but like I love the Phillies. But I didn't have to like be stressed out the entire. I could just sit back, watch a ball game, enjoy it, have a Fenway Frank. That was fantastic.
Fenway Frank, like a piece of white bread. It wasn't even like a hot dog, which is cool though.
It's awesome.
I had my popcorn.
You finished the entire popcorn.
Yeah, so
that was insane.
We got a souvenir. We both got souvenir popcorn.
Got a lot of souvenirs.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like it. Nick, I just have like no word. It's not good.
You can't
for
even do a podcast. You can't even talk. I don't. That's not ideal.
I really like.
It's good.
I know we're just gonna go off tangents here, which is fine. Like this is what we're gonna do. Where we're giving the live recap and everything like that. I would highly suggest. I mean, this might be. I don't know, man. Like. I did my radio show I do in Westchester on Saturdays. And I did it this past Saturday, and I did best sporting events I've ever been to. I think Phillies wide because you've been to Bedlam at the Bank, Bryce Harper, so that's probably out there for you. Initially for me it was the US Open because it's just such a great experience, tennis fan, sports fan, all that, like being able to go out and watch different matches and all that stuff, being at Arthur Ashe Stadium. And but I think going to Phillies wild card game number 1 against the Marlins 2023 and just like the reaction you think they won the World Series when Johan Rojas it's a single to lead off the 3rd inning like you think they won the World Series. I probably put that experience as number 1 for me. I don't know, man, this might be number 1. I might have to like really rethink this, but
on a Wednesday in June,
like there can't be anything else. Like the Garden, probably you've been to the Garden.
I have been to the Garden.
So maybe you can talk about this too. Madison Square Garden, I think, might be close to it, but I don't know. Fenway, the baseball stadiums are different, though.
Yeah.
Baseball stadiums are different. Again, old Yankee Stadium when I went to Yankee Sox in 2006, and like you had like Pedro still in that. Pedro, we live in the Mets, but it was like Poppy still was Manny, the Euclid. It was on the other side. It was A-Rod Jeter, all the Derek Jeter chants, Derek Jeter. Like that was '06. So it was still like just still in the thick of the rivalry of like the early, early 2000s. That was an incredible experience being at Yankee Stadium. All the history there too, incredible. Yeah. But the uniqueness of Fenway, the monster, Pesky's pole, the dimensions, how old the ballpark is. I don't know, man. I just have like so many. I don't know.
It was one of my favorite events to attend, and it was a Wednesday ball game against. I
thought it was a weekend.
I was like, I know it felt like the weekend.
We're gonna be out till like 2 a.m.
Oh, it felt like the weekend. But yeah, I mean, you bring up the Garden, and like you felt that walking in too. You definitely did.
I would assume. So.
But no, Fenway was different, and baseball is just different, and you nailed it because walking in there, you could just see the history. Like you could just feel the history of everything.
I'm sitting there eating pizza after the game, like right outside. They had like
that was
Lansdowne
awesome.
Street. We're on Lansdowne Street, I think that's where it was. And I was sitting there eating pizza. And I was telling you, I was like, I could feel like the R's like tap me on the shoulder, and be like, "Yo, I'm still here. Like I'm glowing right now."
And
like,
I'll tell you what,
feels.
We got to see a really good ball game. Jaron Duran lead things off for the Red Sox. First pitch, dinger.
Yeah.
Marcelo Mayer, couple of dingers for him. He was awesome last night. It was a great ball game. It was a beautiful night. And watching this Red Sox team, especially when you've watched some of the documentary, I haven't finished it. I'm like midway through, but like just even watching that documentary and then getting to go to Fenway, like after watching it, it's like really cool because now you kind of understand what some of the players are doing and how everything kind of works right within the organization. That was pretty cool aspect of it too. So you kind of had a backstory of the team and an inside look at the guys on the roster. Most of them are back this year. So I thought that was another fascinating aspect of it. And you could tell that Boston loves the Red Sox. That was another thing I really got. You could tell the fans were into it.
Sold out crowd, man. It had to have been sold out.
It was close. I mean, it had to have been.
It had, and like I think that's normal for them. I think even when they're like not great, they sell out.
Yeah,
that's Red Sox.
I mean, it was very, very cool. And I'm gonna put this question to you. I'm gonna pose it to you. I know Cooperstown is a museum and it's the history of it. Did you get that same feeling in Cooperstown, or was this different because you were going to watch a ball game?
Like I said, no, it's an easy answer. I never felt a feeling like I felt like this ever in my life.
Wow. Okay.
I like that's why I'm like, maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe we obviously want to hear in the comments if you've been to Fenway, all that.
Let us know.
And if not, like you need to get here. If you're any sort of baseball fan, whether I'm sure we have diehard baseball fans, nerds watching this show. We know we have that. I also know we probably have casual fans as well. Any type of baseball fan, or if you're even looking to be interested in baseball, like you need to get here.
It's a bucket list.
But 100%, if you've been a baseball fan for any time and you understand the history of Fenway just from being a baseball fan, you have to get here. I don't know how else to put it, man.
Like, it's a bucket list.
This is number one, I think, sporting event I've ever been. Sporting experience.
It is a bucket list venue to go to. You can just, if you understand, you don't even have to understand the history. Just even as you saw the young kids out there, like I felt like I was 5 years old. You know what I mean? Like seeing them waiting. Yeah. We even got to see like where all the fans wait for the players after the game.
I wouldn't have known that without the documentary, by the way.
Yeah, that was interesting. We got that. I mean, that's what I mean. The documentary like helped kind of understand like everything go. Yeah. So if you're a fan, not a fan, I think it's just somewhere. Even in like just American history that it's one of those stops where you have to maybe check off your bucket list at some point. One of those
1,000%.
Places you just need to get to. You don't even have to be a sports fan. It's just really cool environment and you could feel the history just of everything there. Really.
You get sold out now.
I know you can't even talk. You still can't even talk.
Like
we had breakfast and everything.
I know. And you know what's funny? I have my coffee right here too.
Hey, you still got it.
I think you mentioned it last night. I could have been there if there was no baseball game. I could have just sat there for like.
I've said that about any state, like any baseball stadium. I'm like, I could just sit there. Fenway would be insane.
It's like on steroids. It's like Barry Bonds. You know what I'm saying? It's like any other ballpark.
That's crazy.
No, I mean I love Bonds.
I know.
Hall of Famer.
I know.
I mean, like it's like going to a regular ballpark. Like Citizens Bank Park is like Bonds before he took the steroids in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And then you go to Fenway and it's like, this is 01 Bonds. This is 04 Bonds. This is, this is like 1500 OPS Bonds. Like this is Babe Ruth. This is Ohtani. This is, this is Mark McGwire 1998. This is Sosa 1998. So like, I'm so taken aback. We're giving it a sneak peek. We're going to go to another legendary ballpark next year, depending on how things work out. We kind of decided last night we're not going to. You can probably understand what we're talking about. We're not going to say it now. We want to keep it under wraps. We're going to want to tease that. You probably know which ballpark we're going.
Don't say too much, Fran.
Relax.
Come on.
We're not going to say too much now, but you could probably guess what ballpark we're going to go to next year. So this we're gonna try to make this more of a thing.
Yeah, I love going to the new ballparks.
Camden Yards last year.
Yeah, and it's funny because for my entire life, the past year, I've gone to so many new stadiums: football, baseball. There goes my phone.
Yep.
Football, baseball, basketball. I've gotten to attend a ton of new stadiums within the past year, which has been just so incredible. It's something I've always wanted to do. I think a lot of people have wanted to do that in their life, like travel to different stadiums, get them off their bucket list. We ran into, after the game, while we were waiting for our ride back to the hotel, we ran into some Rays fans. And they had said this was their 13th ballpark that they've attended, which is pretty cool. They were talking about all the ballparks, their favorites. It was a couple that were Rays fans, and they said Fenway. I think the wife or the girlfriend, partner, whatever you want to call it, she said that Fenway might be her favorite too. And that was her first time there.
She said she was initially a Yankees fan growing up.
Yeah, initially a Yankees fan, and then I think moved to Florida at some point. And
correct, met her.
So that was pretty
partner.
cool, and like that, we ran into other people who was their first time too. So like Fenway is a place where you're gonna get people coming from all over, and it's just kind of like a historical site now for the most part, I would say, and it's just still in use. It's still in use.
Yeah, what an unbelievable experience. By the way, everyone that we met in Boston seemed pretty cool.
Awesome, they were cool.
We didn't talk to a whole lot of people, but everyone, the servers at the restaurant we went to.
I did get some looks with the Phillies hat.
I'll be honest with you, like as a what is that?
I did get some looks with the Phillies hat, but no one said anything.
But everyone does that if Phillies games and Eagles games. If you're an Eagles fan and you see someone in any NFC East, any other jersey, like
I have no problem with it.
Yeah, so you understand that. So it's not. That's not. Don't even try that. But it's funny. Like I guess growing up, to be honest, I was like just jealous of a lot of Boston sports fans. Yeah, because in Philadelphia, especially as I'm 30 now, I've seen 2 Eagles Super Bowls, which is crazy actually even think about. 2 Eagles Super Bowls, 1 Phils championship, and that is it. And Boston sports fans, for me growing up in the time period that born in '94, up until now,
they get everything.
Yeah, they get everything. So they get 6 Pats Super Bowls. They get 1 Bruins Cup. They get 2 Celtics championships, 2008 and last year. Yeah. And then they get, why am I blanking on football, baseball, Red Sox, 4 championships.
Yeah.
The sport we're talking about right now. So, I mean, it's like if they didn't have one team winning or doing, well, they always have their teams in the playoffs. It doesn't matter. So, like if one team didn't get to the conference finals or the final, someone was winning. The Patriots don't win Super Bowl. Bruins won in 2011, stuff like that. So still screw you, Boston fans. But at the same time,
as you're wearing your Red Sox.
Yeah. Look, I'm a Durant fan. Relax. By the way, these City Connects are dope. I like them.
They're better.
Like
they're better.
I'm pandering to the show. Pandering to Boston fans.
But overall, Fenway, great experience. Overall, to say the least, absolutely fantastic. Would definitely come back. For sure.
Yeah, recommend 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
15 out of 10.
18 out of
35 out of 10.
There you go.
Keep going.
We do have time.
What do you want to do?
All-time lineup.
You want to do the all-time lineup?
All right.
You want to do it? All right.
Yeah, we'll do our all-time Red Sox lineup. We are, we did go to Fenway, or we are in Boston. I think we'd be remiss if we did not do our all-time.
Real quick, can I just shout out real quick? I don't know why I didn't think about to talk about this real quick. We had to shout out and take a break from the Red Sox real quick. Shout out to the Pope that wore a White Sox hat yesterday.
My gosh,
how the hell
were
we not going to talk about that?
That was
because
awesome.
There was the whole thing when he got became Pope, and the video of the White Sox being at the 05 World Series. Him wearing the White Sox hat yesterday. I mean, what are we doing? The best sport in the world. Why are the White Sox better though? Because I mean, it's great for their brand. They probably hate us in the hotel right now because I'm yelling. But like, I mean, like, win some games.
Yeah.
Anyway, at least it could be worse than the
Listen,
Rockies. Well, they're close.
he's dedicated. That he's still a White Sox fan after all these years. He could have switched. He could have not put the hat on. Guess what?
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Baseball guy.
It's amazing. And he played tennis with Yannick Sinner about a month ago. Yannick Sinner.
I like this Pope.
Yeah,
he's American,
yeah,
but
that's
it's our Pope.
Nova.
Yeah,
you know,
it's our
Nova.
Pope. All right, ready?
All right, let's do it. You go first.
All right, you want me to go first? All right.
We'll go position for position, or you just running through it?
Let's run through it. I'll run through it.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, there might be a couple that get under your skin a little bit. So I'll start off center field. Trish Speaker. I think that was pretty obvious. I know he's not in our time, but he was 100 years ago. 337 average, elite defense, won in those early years with the Red Sox, all-time legend here in Boston. All right, second base, Dustin Pedroia batting second. I think that was pretty easy. 08 AL MVP, 4-time Gold Glove. I mean, Pedroia, he's one of my favorites growing up. Like, him and Utley as the second baseman in that kind of era were just awesome to watch. So Pedroia had to go second base. Left field, pretty easy. I mean, honestly, it wasn't easy. I mean, it was. But there's so many left fielders that are really good in Red Sox history. Yep. So I may have to shuffle a couple of guys just to get a few of those left fielders in. So Ted Williams, I don't need to say much about Ted. It's pretty obviously one of the greatest, if not the greatest hitter ever. The greatest in Red Sox history, absolutely. DHing, Big Papi. Come on, Big Papi. You and I talked about it when we visited Fenway last night, is that we could just see, I could see Papi's home run just going out. Like him at home plate. I could just memorize it. I could just say it. I just looking at I know we're going on the topic. Go ahead. All right, so he's DHing. Batting fifth. People might hate me for this, but I'm putting Manny Ramirez in right field.
Respect that.
I have to. Just
one of the best right-handers of all time.
Well, he was. Listen, he played majority. He didn't play. He played, I think, 2 games for the Red Sox in right field. Yep. But I had to put him in the lineup. There was no way I couldn't fit him in. So Manny, I had to put him over Dwight Evans. I understand I might get some crap for that. Oh well. Sixth, I got to go Carl Yastrzemski, Triple Crown winner. He's playing first base for me. Obviously another left fielder that I could have had, but I got to put him at first. He did play, I believe it was 1,100 games at first, a little over 1,100 games at first base. So fair enough. I'm putting Yastrzemski at first. All right. Third base, Wade Boggs. Pretty self-explanatory there. Had to put him there. I thought for third base, he could go there easy enough. All right. Shortstop, Nomar Garciaparra, 2-time batting champ, 323 career batting average with the Red Sox. He's playing short. And then Carlton Fisk is my catcher, rounding things out. Starting pitcher, I'm going to make Francisco mad because he wore the jersey last night. I'm not picking Pedro. Cy Young. Your name is the award.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's hard to debate that. I mean, so you got
my closer, Jonathan Papelbon. Yeah. By the way, you missed the video last night. They did show it.
Keith Falk.
They did show it.
Well, it's stupid that they showed it. Anyway, Keith Falk was at the game last night.
He was.
So my turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so going catcher, Carlton Fisk. Pretty easy. By the way, I saw a poll of they did Red Sox fans polling the all-time teams. This was 5 years ago. 40% gave Veritek. I know Veritek's a fan favorite here. It's Fisk by a mile. First base, I'm going Jimmy Fox.
Wow, when Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy Fox is 50 home runs for the Red Sox way back. He had incredible. Second base, I'm going Mookie Betts.
Wow.
Mookie Betts. He's playing second. He didn't play a lot of second, but I'm throwing Mookie in there.
Wow.
Nah, I'm it's so tough because it's either Mookie or Pedroia.
It is Pedroia.
I think it's Pedroia. I'll give him the benefit of I lied. I give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, Mookie could be right there. Pedroia, second base. Shortstop, going Garciaparra.
Yep.
Nomar Garciaparra. You could have put Mookie at short if you really wanted to. Third base, going Wade Boggs. Obvious one. Left field, going Yastrzemski. Center field, I'm going Ted Williams. Yes, we're going to move him around because I don't care about the defense. Just freaking hit bombs and you're fine. Right field, Manny Ramirez. Manny Ramirez is horrible defensively, but they won World Series because he hit 40 bombs, hit 350, got on base almost 50% of the time, and his OPS was like 1,500. Okay, Ted Williams, that's my outfield. DH, obviously, David Ortiz. I can't necessarily argue against you saying Cy Young as your starting pitcher, but Pedro, it's a bit of a nostalgia thing for me as a kid, but also like Pedro, what he did in 99 and 2000, those 2 seasons, along with him, what he did with the Red Sox from 98 to 04 in the prime of his career. He arguably, you could really make an argument that his seasons there were like even better than Bob Gibson's 1968 season. If you look at the environment, it's not a 112 ERA, but him having like a what was it, 198 ERA and a 207 ERA in that steroid era was unbelievable. So like Pedro, to me at that time, I think Pedro is my starting pitcher. There's also even an argument for Clemens for what he did with the Red Sox too. But I'm going Pedro. Understand your argument for Cy Young. You go Clemens. And then my closer is Jonathan Papelbon.
Yeah.
So I respect your line.
You're
Pretty similar.
No problems with my list for once?
Not necessarily. Where do we differ?
Second base at first when you picked Mookie.
Did we
I did not.
I don't think
center field.
You want your speaker. Which I can understand that too. Like I don't like. There's no like hard feelings here.
Yeah. No, I think we got. There's a good history. Yeah. Good job. Good job. Good job.
This is a nice.
We didn't have to get yell at each other for that one.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
But it is 11:15 now. We appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Maybe you're off from work. Maybe you're at work and you're tuning in because you're a Shift fan. And shout out to all the Shift fans that we ran into. I actually ran into a couple of Shift fans in Fenway. So that was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
Especially, you were wearing the Shift shirt too, so they probably recognize the shirt a little too as well. But we appreciate the people we ran into down here in Boston.
Yep.
And that was a really, really, really fun experience. And 1,000%, man, would recommend this to anybody pretty much, especially baseball fans.
Yeah, I would 1,000% recommend Fenway. Just get here at some point in your lifetime. You have to get here.
Yeah. All right. So are we done?
I think we're done.
Yeah, we got to get out of the hotel room. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will be back soon. This is The Shift, episode 89.